going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files Ask Nick edition. I'm your host, Nick, joined by the household of Genevieve, Amanda, Derek. Allie is here as well. Say hi, Allie.
Hi!
What's going on? What's new?
Bopping, vibing. How are you?
Fine.
I have a question.
My
Fine.
voice cracked during that.
Yeah. Are
Convincing.
you sure you're fine? Are you
Very
fine?
convincing.
What's your question?
Oh, I was just going to ask, do you have like a weekend ritual or like something that you tend to do most weekends?
Sleep in.
If you had no responsibility, what time do you get up?
Late. 10.
What about you?
Well, it really just depends on what time I go to bed.
Fair, but
Because like, I have fucking improv shows at like 10 p.m. on a Wednesday, which is like, nobody's chosen time to do that.
what time would you choose to go to bed and choose to wake up if you had no obligation?
No obligations at all?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like on a Friday night, I can go to bed.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I got no plans. And let's say I have no plans on a Saturday morning and I can go to bed when I want to and wake up when I want to. What would that be for you?
I feel like I would probably try to go to bed before 1.
Okay.
Like, definitely. I mean, if I'm really tired, then I'll go to bed at like 11 or something. But
No,
yeah,
I hear you. But
I think in an ideal world, I go to bed at like 12:30, wake up at like 10.
12:30 to 10.
There's
Okay.
like fall asleep time. And it's like usually like I'm at my boyfriend's house. So you like kind of wake up
It's
in the
a
morning.
good
then
nine
you,
and a
like,
half hours of sleep.
Yeah, because usually I'm like making. Well, it's hard to answer without obligations because usually I'm like making up for lost time. Even though sleep experts say you can't do that, not in my lived experience. You absolutely can make up for lost
No,
sleep.
I think what it's telling me is that if you could, you would sleep for 9 hours.
Oh yeah, easy peas.
And same with you.
I like to go to bed at a reasonable hour.
What's a reasonable hour?
Like 10:30.
What? That's early to me.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's early
reasonable hour.
To you.
I guess I just have a very skewed kind of perception. Like Derek, what time do you
Did
go to bed?
the pandemic affect any of this for you? Because the pandemic completely shifted my sleep schedule.
I think I go to sleep at midnight and then I naturally wake up around like 6:37.
Nick, what is your first obviously like when do you ideal bedtime, ideal
10:30
rise
to
time?
about 6:30.
Okay, and what's your threshold where it's like if you get under this amount of sleep,
6.
you're crabby?
I'm tired.
Hmm.
Yeah. If I get 7, I'm good. 7 to 8 hours. Interesting. Just curious. Do we got a writer inner?
Yeah, it reads. So my friend, someone wrote in on behalf of their friend. I always love when people do that. My friend Amy is 29 and an army nurse stationed in Hawaii. Another friend is trying to set her up on a blind date with a Navy diver who she met while serving him at the bar. This friend showed the guy a picture of Amy and left his number on a napkin for her to pass along. The man does not have social media and we do not have any photos of him. Interesting. All we have is a telephone number. This is so like 90s rom-com. And we're trying to formulate a text for her to send to him to get the ball rolling.
She doesn't know what he looks like?
Well, I assume the friends were like, he's cute. We saw him. Friends are so...
Trustworthy friend. You really trust your friends. I wouldn't trust my friends.
No, but I feel like friends always downplay.
What
Like,
gender are we
friends
talking
are so
about?
critical of men. You'll show a photo, like girls take 10 minutes to find
Well,
a
that's
photo
I
of the
guess.
guy they're talking
I
to.
guess
It's so true.
I think
Yeah.
it's okay. So yeah, there's like a diagram here of like who you can trust in a setup.
Yeah.
So I don't think guys can trust women to set them up with their women friends. And it's a compliment to you women as friends, is that I think you guys are blinded by your friendship and loyalty to your friends. And as great as she is, whoever she is, she might not be great for me, so to speak. So I would never ask a girl to set me up with her friends unless I knew who the girl was. But if someone approached me and said, I have the best girl for you, no, absolutely not.
But this is like, they're not going off of personality. They don't know this man at all. They're purely going off of looks,
Okay.
you know?
And,
yeah,
but
like
I guess,
maybe good energy.
but I
when-
do think you can trust a girl to set you up with a guy because it's like, would you fuck him kind of thing.
That's
I
messy
think-
territory.
Well, I don't mean like literally. I think girls can set up their girlfriends with guys that they know of, even their guy friends.
I think it
because-
has much more to do with your knowledge of their dating history. I think like
There's so many variables that go into this. I'm just talking more on a fairly surface level. I just think when women are setting up their girlfriends with other people, they are biased to a level that often disappoints the men they're trying to set up their friends with.
Do you feel like this is a phenomenon you've experienced and witnessed a lot?
Yeah, my whole life. I mean, even like women I've dated and they talk about their friends about like, oh, they'd be so great for so and so. I'm like, no, they wouldn't. And again, they're coming from a place of like true friendship and loving everything about their friend. And it's just like, great, but I don't think they're a match for them. But I would trust in this situation, if it's a couple girls saying, hey, I know this guy. We think he's really hot. I know you would like him. I think you can trust.
Right. And then the guy saw a photo of the potential blind date. So it like kind of off the bat,
Clearly
that there's
agreed.
like a mutual like physical level of interest.
So it's not like fully blind because he knows.
Yeah.
She just doesn't know.
It's like
And
blurry date.
I get asked all the time, hey, do you have any guy friends that you could set me up with? And I'm always like, no, I would never do that to you, type of thing. As I feel like I can be objective when it comes to my friends about like, yeah, I'm friends with them, but like, absolutely not. I would not want you to date them. You deserve better type of thing.
I love to set people up. It has never gone well.
And are you setting up guys with your girlfriends?
I know the guys too.
You know the guys too.
Yeah, but they're in like different walks of life or like different groups.
Yeah.
They don't know each other.
Anyways, so back to this story. Where are we at? They need to craft a text.
We need to craft a text. Again, important info that we could maybe use as like, I don't know, a joke in the text. She's an Army nurse stationed in Hawaii. He is a Navy diver.
Stationed in Hawaii.
Seems like he just lives in Hawaii.
She's trying to shoot her shot towards him.
Yeah. And she already has some level of confirmation that he said he would be open to the setup. He saw a photo of her and was like, yeah, you can pass along my number. So now she has the
He
number.
saw a photo of her.
Yes. So the friends.
Oh, so he's already green lighted this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But she has to now
she-
initiate communication.
Seems like this friend is nervous to get the ball rolling. Us sending her perfectly crafted
Why
text
is
would
she
help.
getting the ball rolling?
Because she has his number. He doesn't have her contact info. She has his.
So he's seen a picture of her,
Yes.
but doesn't have her information.
No. So he
He
saw a picture
hasn't
of her,
has-
wrote down his number.
And she hasn't seen a picture of him.
He doesn't have any social media, so I assume the friends just described him.
Okay.
I love that he doesn't have any social media. Allie, take note. Allie should not be dating people with content.
I don't know if it's always a green flag to
I-
have no social media.
Okay, I will say my boyfriend is kind of a dream in terms of like he has so few followers on Instagram. He's not really on it. Like,
But he's there.
He's there.
And it exists. Like
It
my
exists.
buddy from home, my best friend, like he has an Instagram. Once in a while I get a like. I still think he's only posted one picture ever.
Truly. Like, I think
This
like
is my boyfriend's Instagram.
oh
He's
my-
a bot.
no posts yet.
Obsessed.
And not even
King.
But he has one.
the thing.
He
has an
about-
Instagram.
The thing about your boyfriend's
I
Instagram
see
is
what
that
what
he
does he
has
look like?
no profile photo.
Can we bring him up?
Yes, no. No, I'm not going to put that on here.
Doesn't make the show.
We'll keep it on Nick's
Well,
face
wait,
for
now
reaction.
I have to take 10 minutes to find a photo.
I'm not trying to have sex with him.
Boyfriend reveal on the Viall Files.
Wait. Actually, let me go to my Instagram. How do I go to my Instagram?
All right, well,
on
while
here?
you do that, what are we're trying to craft a text?
Yes.
Active situation? I don't know. I guess.
We have an active situation.
I don't want to. There's my Instagram's up. Nice post, Genevieve. Okay,
Just-
where is he?
Drum roll, please.
Zoom.
That's a weird photo.
Zoom in. Zoom in.
Yeah, that's a weird photo.
Lovely.
Ah!
Lovely.
Wait. This is one I like to show to people. Not this one of me.
You
My
look-
cousin's bat
You
mitzvah.
look stunning gorgeous in that.
That's
It-
him.
Great.
Curly brown hair.
Yeah.
Jador.
Okay. Yeah. No, I got. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't need a whole like portfolio. I just.
I showed you 2 photos, Nick.
Yeah.
And one of them was there for
One of them was
like,
far
a
out. One of
second.
them was like
No, I mean, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. I
Thank you.
got exactly what I needed.
period
Yeah.
slay.
Okay, the text.
The
Okay.
text.
I assume she knows his name.
I just confuses why this is so complicated if he's already greenlit.
Because she's overthinking because it feels vulnerable, even if he's already greenlit.
Heard
it
you
feels
like my face.
vulnerable.
Oh my god, I can't wait to flirt with you.
Can't wait to flirt with you.
Yeah.
Want to show the title?
Heard.
Put them all together.
Yeah, what are all the best pieces?
What's your girlfriend up to this weekend?
Oh yeah, that one too.
Oh my
Want a
Uh.
shot at the title?
He's a deep sea diver.
Yeah, for the
god.
Navy.
Navy diver.
A Navy diver.
Can't wait to dive into your pants. Just kidding.
I was also thinking like dive into this pussy.
You think she should lead with that?
That's so
no,
bold.
it's like it was like, you know how it's like you should never, the first idea in your brain and brainstorming is never a good one.
Sure.
That was that.
Well,
Thought it
I
was
was
there are no
thinking
bad
I was going to
ideas.
go with diving deep. You know.
Okay. Well, let's start out easy. Hey X. We don't know what his name is. My friend.
No, I don't
gave me
think
your
she
What
number.
if
needs-
it's something like depending
Hey,
on
it's me.
depending on how often you agree to blind dates, or like okay, sorry, okay, this is like a work. I need help on this. But
Okay.
like my idea is basically starting the text in a way of being like,
Am I?
hey, like you should know who this is unless you give out your number a lot. You know, like kind of being like, this is how we met.
I don't think we need to neg him.
Okay, well that's. I'm out then for sharks. I'm out.
That was the only idea you had.
Is it?
No, I just believe in negging.
Is it?
I believe in
crazy?
negging in person.
Is it crazy? He's seen her. I think she sends a picture of herself to him,
You know who this is.
and
Wait,
then
I
asks
kinda
for
love
one
that.
back.
I love that. You know what I look like, but I don't know what you look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, at this point, only one of us is going into the date blind.
Blind.
So
And my friends think you're very pretty, or something. I heard you're cute. I want to see.
I like that.
I like that. Send a picture of herself, some little like cute little like selfie. Maybe she's out there shopping. There's a beautiful like ocean in the background. Maybe she's having a morning coffee,
I'm sure she has a selfie.
but it's not like a glam like in front of a mirror like giving the duck face, but more like she's out in the morning drinking coffee, having a beautiful morning, and it's more like she's taking an in the moment like selfie where she looks good, and then she sends it and kind of refers to like just out here enjoying my beautiful coffee.
What if she doesn't drink coffee? This is
Whatever.
so
In-
specific.
insert-
that's amazing. Just out here enjoying my beautiful coffee.
Well,
She's
do we not need to provide like context as to why she's sending a photo of herself?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm stupid. Back to the original plan.
I
That's-
heard you're cute. I want to see.
I heard you're cute. I want to see.
Oh, yeah, my friend said you're cute.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Well,
Ooh.
you've gotten to see my picture. Send one. Here's another one.
I'm going to give her options.
Yeah.
I heard you're cute. Let me see.
That's
Too aggressive?
yeah. That
No,
one, that
there's
one-
He's in the
There's
Navy.
something about the tone of your voice that is like delightful. Is
I heard you're cute. Let me see.
You're pitching flirting text.
Throwing a wink face emoji or whatever.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm typing this out. She can listen to this
Yeah.
on Monday or today, right now.
Be like, I think, okay, my pitch would be pretty unfair for only one of us to be going into this date blind. Like, my friend said you were
Oh.
cute, prove it.
Okay.
And then it's already assuming there's a date. It's confident.
Okay. Do that. I like that.
Love that.
I feel like saying prove it is like light negging. Like, that's what I think of.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that better than
That's not
I
negative.
wanna
That's more of a
see.
challenge. I heard you sucked or something like that. Or I heard you're not good at this. Or I heard like
Yeah, what
Okay.
was your original idea that we deemed too aggressive?
it was a criticism of some kind.
Allie, it was like, I'm not sure how many girls you give your numbers. Like, be
Yeah.
like, hey, it's
You're calling him
not,
a fuckboy.
it's,
oh yeah,
yeah, it's like,
it's a little aggressive. Allie says that we should do the winky face, not an emoji. I agree
couldn't
with
agree
that.
more. There is never,
That's actually what I meant.
Okay.
But-
Nick translation.
okay.
But yes, I agree. Not the actual emoji.
Yes.
The semicolon
Yes.
and
Parenthesis.
whatever.
Or if you're saying my friend said you're cute, prove it. I think also a smiley face could be allowed.
Yeah.
In that setting.
Oh, you want a smiley face or a wink?
I want a wink.
I want a wink.
I think,
Dare I say? I don't think we need either.
yeah.
if we do prove it, I don't think you need either.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Two
no,
on the nose.
None.
Up to Amy though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
whatever you want to do, Amy.
Yeah.
So she sends a cute little selfie.
Okay. Allie says you need a winky. Prove it is too aggro. Like me when I'm drunk, no one likes me. Allie, I like you when you're drunk.
No, but if she's smiling, if she sends a cute selfie where she's smiling and looking a little like fun and sassy, that's you don't need the wink face.
Up to you, Amy.
Yeah. Up to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, there's not a lot of instances where someone says prove it and they mean it like in a very like I'm actually testing you way.
Yeah. Unless we're in court.
Yeah, like court or like a karate tournament. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like you led with, I think you're lying. Prove it.
Yeah. It was one of the I couldn't get it out of my brain, right?
So all right. So Sen's picture, what's the final?
Pretty unfair for only one of us to go into this date blind. My friend said you're cute. Prove it.
Great. And I love the assumptive close.
That's what I'm saying.
You're suggesting the date's already
The date's
planned.
happening. The
Yes.
date is happening. That's
Yeah.
what I'm
Yes.
saying.
There we go. Love it.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Tell us how it goes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Please do. And also, I think because there is such a pushback against online dating, a lot of people find it very taxing, generally the worst. Set your friends up.
I love that they did this. Those are
I
great
know.
friends.
Set your friends up. You can go by Nick's guidelines of, you know.
I mean, I'm all for doing it, but just, be objective. Just because your friend's amazing and you love everything about her just doesn't necessarily mean that she's right for him. And vice versa. I think women are sometimes really great friends at the disadvantage of their matchmaking abilities.
I am curious. Like, I wish that they were on the call with us because I'm curious, like, were these friends, were they dating someone? Like, did they not see him and think, like, I want him? Like, what made them be like, I'm going to be selfless here. He's hot, but I want him for my friend.
I'm assuming they're in relationships.
I don't know. They didn't say.
Well, if they're not, red flag.
Why?
Because why aren't they pursuing him?
Because if
I
sometimes
know.
you're like, oh, you're not my type, but I know you're my friend's type.
Well, then we're
At
getting
some-
into muddy waters.
Yeah.
Why aren't they their type?
At some point, hot is hot. You
Yes. No.
But
and
I-
you can't argue
but
with
I
Not
think-
even
hot.
at some point. Hot is hot.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
energetically, like if someone seems like if there's someone, like I have friends who are like a lot more kind of like quiet and like err on the side of like sweetheart as opposed to neg, you know? And so there's plenty of people where I'm like, you're lovely. You seem very polite. I think I would be too much for you. And I would like to introduce you to my more adaptable and palatable friend.
I think most friends are not that selfless at the end of the day when it comes to their own love lives. Listen, not all red flags turn out to be
Disasters.
disasters or calm yellow flags. I don't know. But I'm just saying it is something to give you pause if your single friends are setting you up with someone they had a chance at.
There's something
Proceed with
there.
caution.
There's something there.
I hope this works out because this is an awesome story.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, she's stationed there, so does that mean that she's not going to be there forever? Like, if they fall in love, what happens then?
Oh.
They'll have to call up and ask Nick and ask about like long distance dating and
Oh my God. Amy, if you listen to this and this works out, you have to call in.
Yes, please do. We
Yeah.
would love to hear from
With
you.
your friend, even.
Is her real name Amy?
No.
Oh.
I just thought Army Amy.
Oh, okay.
Army Amy.
Yeah.
There it
Got
is.
that. All right. Great. Well, I think we did it. Well, be sure to tune in tomorrow. We're breaking down the new batch of episodes that dropped just past Friday. If you haven't checked out the Izzy episode, which is an interview with Izzy from all things episodes 1 through 7. And then we have Love is Blind. We got Golden Bachelor, Bachelor in Paradise, breaking it all down tomorrow on Reality Recap. And then on Thursday's episode of Going Deeper, we have Heather
Debro.
from Housewives of Orange County. The final reunion episode is on Wednesday, and Heather drops on Thursday. So yay for us for getting the scoop. So wild and wacky week ahead of y'all. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to send in those questions at AskNick@theviallfiles.com. If you're missing out on those updates, just remember we have, I think, 14 episodes of updates behind Viall Files Plus. So if you are thirsting for more updates for some of your favorite Ask Nick calls, your texting office hours, mediations, all of those, check them out behind Viall Files Plus. Also, we're recapping Vanderpump. We're wrapping up season 2, so follow along with us behind Viall Files Plus. It's really been fun doing that because we're really getting kind of a history lesson in Vanderpump, and there's a lot of callbacks, and it's really wacky. It really makes me that much more excited for season 11.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So check that out. Just go to viallfiles.com. It's free to sign up. You get a 7-day free trial. So do that. All right, let's get to our callers.
Question time with Nick. Let's ask Nick your sexy questions.
How's it going?
Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm 30 and I need help deciding if I should break up with my boyfriend.
Okay. Is this an active situation?
A little bit.
Don't worry.
I
We
would
have an active situation.
All right. So, you're currently dating him, yeah? And you're currently deciding if you should not date him.
right. We're long distance.
Okay.
And I think it just feels like every time we see each other, there's like an event and families involved, and because our families are friends. And every time it just feels like this is the worst possible time to break up with someone if I do feel that way.
There is never a good time to break up with someone. You know what I'm saying? There's not a better time or a worse time. And you've heard me say this, I'm sure, that when you break up with someone, you have to do the selfless thing, which is to allow them to hate you if they so choose. And unfortunately, you know, when you break up with someone, you're going to be the villain in their story. And you might be the villain in their friends' stories, you know, and their family stories. And that sucks. And we hate that. That's just kind of part of it. Is that more than anything what's holding you back? Is the worrying about hurting him and the fallout? Or are there things about the relationship that you are still wondering, boy, am I really willing to give this up?
Yeah. I think both. I think it's like equal parts.
How long have you been dating?
6 months.
6 months. Okay. What do you enjoy about the relationship?
He's just like the kindest person I've ever dated.
The
He's
kindest person you've ever dated.
Mhm.
That's a profound statement.
It's true. I mean, there's definitely not as like selfless people as we would hope in the world, I would think. And I just feel like he always thinks about me first, which is really nice, and is like willing to kind of like make sacrifices. And it sounds like the bare minimum, but I think the bare minimum doesn't happen as often as it should.
Well, I don't know if always being put first is the bare minimum, you know.
That's true. I think like all of my friends and family have been like, oh, like this is the kind of guy you marry. Like he's so stable and he makes me feel really safe. Like I know you talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure if we're totally compatible long term, just because
How so?
he is like a small town guy. He works in construction. He needs to be there. I live in a big city. We're like an hour flight from each other. And I don't know if I'm done traveling and like seeing the world. And that's just not really possible for him. And I feel like I would be giving up that to pursue this relationship.
I mean, maybe not. Have you spoken with him about this?
Yes.
What do those conversations go like? How do those conversations go?
He wants to figure something out. He's like, maybe I can take a leave of absence for a couple of weeks or a month. But I feel like I just want someone who's a little bit more fluid and doesn't need to be so rigid with like, I have to be back for work, which I understand. I just have a job that happens to be able to be remote.
And so what exactly are you looking to do? And I guess my question is, because here's what I'm hearing. I'm dating a guy who's like literally the nicest fucking person in the world. Makes me a priority like all the time. He does more than the bare minimum. He's super understanding. He makes me feel safe. My friends and family fucking love him. But right now, I just want to travel a bit more. I have some flexibility in my job, and there's some things I want to do. But I'm just wondering, why do you need to like cut this person out of your life to meet these goals? You've only been dating this guy for 6 months, all right? So like, no one needs to like be family planning anytime soon. And I am just wondering why you can't have maybe a slow burner relationship with this guy that, you know, maybe even go live in another place for like 3 or 4 months. There's FaceTime, there's Zoom, there's way that you can travel. And yeah, maybe you will see each other intermittently. You won't be playing house. You won't be sleeping over each other's houses 5-6 days a week. But, you know, if you really wanted to make this work, I feel like you could, which leads to my next question. Is it compatibility? Or, you know, is it just one of those things where you're, despite your family saying they're great and you saying they're nice, and you're just internalizing, being like, there's just something I'm missing, or whatever that thing is, and you want that spark and you want that bad boy. I don't know. And you're using the long distance and you wanting to travel as a bit of an excuse to make yourself feel a little bit better.
Yeah, that's also what I'm wondering. But it also feels like something's missing. And I don't know if I'm wrong for saying that or if I'm too picky and not focusing on the right things. But
all right, well, what do you think is missing? Let's try to figure it out.
I think that I really am attracted to more like cerebral people, intellectual people. I feel like he's
okay,
just a little bit more basic. But, you know, to your point, that you've made before, he does try. Like, he always tries to learn new things. And I'm like, I don't know. There's just certain things that I'm like, oh, I wish that he,
Like what?
I mean, he's never traveled outside the US and he's just very small town. Like, I don't know how else to kind of like specify that.
I hear you. And I don't know, those things can evolve, type of thing. People can be cultured, He's never going to be some sort of city slicker, city boy, sophisticated, cultured guy. He's always going to be your country boy if you stay with this guy type of thing. But he can expand his horizons, so to speak. You guys could strike that balance. I think about and talk about and have a lot of interest in things that Natalie doesn't give a fuck about. And there's a lot of things that we have a similar interest in. In a perfect world, would I love Natalie to give a shit about every stupid thing that I want to just run by her and get into the weeds about all those things? Yeah, it would. But like, I also have friends for that,
I agree with you on like from a mind perspective. I agree with you. But have you ever felt like when you're with someone, something's just like a little bit off?
Sure, but I just didn't date them for 6 months, and I didn't say things like I've never felt more safe, with those people. How's the sex?
It's good. I mean,
Sex
he
is good.
cares about me. Like, he really does.
Listen, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to have to do what's in your gut. I don't know if you have to make a decision, I guess is my point. I think
What do you mean by that?
well, you've only been dating for 6 months, right? You're 30, and I don't know how you feel about your timelines and things like that. And I understand if you want to have kids, that's something women think about as they approach 30, and you feel like you don't have time to waste. But you've only been dating this guy for 6 months. I just think you could have a more of a slow burn relationship as long as you guys keep communicating. Like, you need to be upfront about where you stand. I mean, it sounds like I'm getting the sense you feel the pressure of feeling like he is into you then more than you might be into him, and then when that's off, it just feels like
guilt a little
guilt
bit.
and pressure. It feels wrong
Yeah.
and things like that. But you can communicate that. You could just say, listen, my feelings are with you are moving slower, but there's so much about our relationship I do love. I love the way you treat me. I love our sex life, things like that. There are things that you can say to him that will make him feel good about how you feel about him. And then you can say like, yeah, there's other areas in our relationship where, this is new for me. I'm not used to it. There's aspects of you being that small town guy I love, and there's aspects about you being the small town guy I'm like kind of getting used to it. I just want to be open with you about that. And like, I wish you could travel with me. You can't. It's not the end of the world. But like, I do want to do this. Is a priority for me to do, and I want to do this, and I'm willing to do it alone, or I'm willing to do it with friends. But like, are you okay with, still investing in this relationship while I kind of, for the next year, kind of selfishly travel the world? And I'd hope that you could try to maybe take a vacation here or there, but like, no pressure, and just keep the lines of communication open. I don't know your dating history. I don't know if you have a history of kind of, quitting before, I don't know. Like, when was the last time you really liked someone?
2 years ago, but this is my first committed relationship in 6 years.
Okay. I mean, so is this the first guy you really liked in 6 years? Or, I mean, I know you don't really, but like, I know you don't really like him, but, but you seem to have liked him the most in the past 6 years?
I think because he is so persistent. I think what makes me feel guilty and pressured is he talks about having a family soon. And like, he would propose tomorrow if I asked him to.
Oh, okay. Well, then you need to communicate with him that he's got to slow down. You have the right to say that. It's only been 6 months. I'm glad he's super excited about you. That's awesome for him, and maybe someday awesome for you. But you have the right to be like, I'm just not there yet. And I move at a different pace, and I have some reservations and some questions. And because of his liking you so much and him being, caught up in his feelings and in the honeymoon phase, he is applying unnecessary pressure on you in this relationship. And now you feel like you have to end it because you think he's ready to propose to you. And you're like, I want to fucking like travel, and I'm not even sure if I like you as much as you like me. But yeah, if you were willing to have an honest conversation with, be like, I'm just not there yet. I just want to be honest with you. I don't want to throw this away, but I do feel that pressure. I'm excited about the way you feel about me and what but I move a little slower, and as great as much as I've learned about you, it's only been 6 months. We have so much more to learn about each other. And I just want to point that out. And you see how he responds. This is a great opportunity to see how does he respond to disappointment and conflict, because, there's been a lot of people out there who dated someone for 6-12 months, be like, oh, he's the nicest guy. He prioritizes me. She's amazing. Oh, she does all these things. And then like all of a sudden, like 18 months in the relationship, you get a little sick of each other. Some problems come up and you realize they have a temper. They don't necessarily handle disappointment well. So this could be an opportunity. Can I talk to this guy about difficult things? Can I disappoint him with some of the news I'm going to deliver? And can he handle in a way where I allow him to be disappointed, but he communicates with me and we talk through it and we find compromise? That's a huge aspect of a relationship that neither of you seem to have answers to yet. And both of you, regardless of the level that you're at, like he's on this level, like I could marry you tomorrow. You're just like, I don't even know if I want to date you next week. But neither of you know how you guys deal with conflict and disappointment and sadness. And those are huge aspects of a relationship that people completely like forget about and wash over when they start like fantasizing about weddings and like, oh my God, I feel like we know each other forever. And like, oh, let's talk about how many kids we want and things like that, having no idea how they work through conflict.
We have had a couple of conversations just because I've told him I'm not sure if I ever want to move to where you are.
Okay.
He's been very calm and just like, how can I make it easier? Because it seems like that's our only option.
Well, so there you go. I mean, that's a potential non-negotiable. And you got to say, like, listen, what I'm saying is I don't think I ever want to. You might not be able to do anything. If someone asked me to move to Tulsa, Oklahoma, sure, it's lovely for all you Tulsa, Oklahoma people out there, or Des Moines, Iowa, I don't think that's for me. And I would really struggle. At this point, Natalie and I are having a kid. If for some reason she had to move, like I'd be like, all right, let's, I guess, try to
Pack
figure
the
it out. But
bags.
I'm pot committed, like you're not. And you have the right to
Right.
say, I'm sorry, buddy. Like if I were dating someone 6 months in where I was on the fence about my feelings, I'd be like, no, you don't understand. There's nothing you can do. I'm not moving to Dubuque.
Right. And so I guess maybe, do you think I should just give it more time, have that conversation?
I think since you're at the point that you're at, you should pull no punches in terms of how you feel. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't try to soften it. Don't use words like maybe or probably not or I'm not sure. If you are certain about a feeling, just state the feeling. I don't see myself moving to where you live. If I'm just being totally honest, as great as you are, I just don't ever see that happening. And, there's nothing any one person can do. And like, we're at a point in a relationship where I just can't picture that. So then maybe that is your answer. Maybe you could say like, well, as sad as I am, I wish you would. And, but, maybe that is reason enough to break up. But as he works in construction, why can't he build houses anywhere?
So that was kind of one of the things we talked about when we first reconnected. We met in like elementary school. But it was I kind of feel like he duped me a little bit because I kind of feel like he was like, well, let's just see what happens.
Mhm.
Because I had these reservations about moving forward if we didn't have plans that aligned in the future. And he was just like, oh, I don't know where I'm going to end up. And now it feels like he is wanting to stay there with his family and isn't willing to move too far.
Well, yeah, and that's just something you can address, and say. I don't know if you have to use the word dupe. I mean, I think it's more like he was excited about you, and if it seems like his opinion has changed, he has it, and he has the right to change his opinion, and you have the right to change yours. It sounds like this is a non-negotiable potentially for you, like where you want to live for the rest of your life is a big deal, and people take that for granted when they try to pretend that
Love conquers all.
Love conquers all. Like,
He's like that.
well, it's easy for him to say when he's expecting you to move.
Right.
He's not like
right,
that because he wouldn't do that for you.
Right.
So,
And I feel like he overlooks red flags a lot. Like I've done a lot of emotional work and I feel like he hasn't. And when he says things sometimes, I'm just like, you need to go to therapy and like work on yourself and like sit with these feelings.
Well,
I feel like
mine
that's
is
some of
like
where
I
my
think anyone
unsureness
can
comes from,
benefit from
too.
therapy. Everyone can benefit from therapy. I just him getting excited about you, and I don't know. It's like immediately go to therapy just because he's a little caught up in his feelings. Certainly everyone can benefit from it. I just think, listen, I think it's just a tough conversation, unfortunately, right? And you're stuck dating a guy that has a lot of good to him. I think you just need to be careful how you communicate this and not make it a you versus him, or like he's doing something wrong or you're doing something wrong, or it's not a right, it's just getting on the same page, or just recognizing that you're not, through civil conversation. And then you can calmly point out, it's like, listen, like our biggest problem is I see it, and not our only, but our biggest is that you don't seem to ever be willing to move. And as strong as you feel about me, you're not willing, and I understand, but you're not willing to necessarily move for me, and I'm not willing to move for you. So what do we do with
Right.
that? And it's not fair for either of us to expect or to think less of the person because they're unwilling to do that. Because you don't want to do it for me, and I don't want to do it for you. And it's not because
Right.
of who we are. It's just about like you're not a city guy, and I'm not a small town girl. There's a lot of good here, but like maybe we just aren't compatible. And back to like you say, he says things, makes you think he needs to deal with some feelings and through therapy. I do think it would be fair for you to say, hey, listen, as happy as it makes me feel at times to feel your excitement about us, you sometimes say things that give me pause. And I've done a lot of work on myself, and it's not like you're better and he's worse or he is, but like it makes me feel comfortable to know that we're on the same page when it comes to like our emotional, like his speed in which we move and certain things. And sometimes you say things that, get me a little anxious because I'm just not there yet. And part of it is because I'm at the point in my life where through past relationships, I used to get a little excited and then I didn't. And now I'm just more of a slower burn. Because I process my feelings a little bit more through, therapy and things like that. And, if you're open to it, like, maybe that could be something you're into. Like, he's going to have to go on his own pace. But you know what I'm saying? I guess it's communication. It's being able to talk about these difficult things, these awkward things, and just stating your feelings without sugarcoating them or softening them with like words like, well, not really, and maybe, and kind of, and sometimes when in reality, this is just how I feel. And it's always, or it's never, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And just
Because I've been on
talking
the
about
other side of that before, and I definitely don't want to do that to him, where it's been sugar-coated and I've been dragged on for years, and I definitely don't want to do that. Do you think it's a conversation I can have on FaceTime?
Yeah. I mean, you have a long distance relationship, so that's how these things kind of work. Yeah, I think FaceTime is totally fine. And you could just say, listen, I want to have an honest conversation with you. And I would start with the distance thing. And then you can get into other things where it's just like, I'm just moving, again, at a slower pace. And I process my feelings a little slower. And these are the things I'm struggling with. But yeah, he is talking like he's willing to compromise, but he's not showing his willingness to compromise through his actions. And you have the right to point that out to him. And that's where you could just say, hey, listen, at the end of the day, maybe we're just not willing to compromise for each other, and that's a sign that maybe we shouldn't be together. But if we can find compromise, these are the things I'd love to work on, because these are the things that I find a priority. You find this a priority, and, we don't have to decide today, but I do want to be upfront about the disconnect I'm having, and let's just be honest about it, and let's talk through it, and let's just not pretend that our honeymoon feelings will solve all our problems, because they just won't. And I want to be able to have these conversations with someone I'm dating.
I think those are really good next steps versus like just breaking up because everything's not perfect. So I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for calling in. But yeah, it's still early, but yeah, this either could be the start of breakup conversations, or it'll start, maybe healthier communication. Because I get where you're coming from, right? It can be very nerve-wracking to be in a relationship with someone where they're just honeymoon phase central and they're just on the high and they don't want to be bothered with like realistic conversations about the future. Meanwhile, you're just like, yeah, that's all great and all, but like, I'm not 19 anymore.
That's exactly how I feel.
So you can say that. Well, don't say it just like that.
Because
Don't, you know.
he's like, we'll figure it out, babe. It's like,
You're like, no.
when?
Well, I want to figure this out now.
Yeah.
You know? And you could say that. Like, listen, as great as we are and as great as you are, there are some things that we're just not compatible on. And like compatibility is a big deal. Like if you are miserable in a city, how happy could you be despite being happy with me? Or
And
you'll
vice versa.
Yeah,
If he
exactly.
were to move to the city and he hates it, it's, as much as you love me, if you hate where you live, that doesn't solve much.
Yeah. And clearly, you know, doesn't love you that much that he's willing to move for you.
Right. It's a good point.
Nor do I think he needs to be, you know. I think he's
I
just,
agree with
he's
you.
being unrealistic. Not even unreal. He's just, he doesn't even want to be bothered with realism.
He's being like ultra
Exactly.
optimistic.
And that's
Yeah.
where I get frustrated. I'm like,
So tell him that.
this.
You just be like, you can't say that, you know? And you point out, because you wouldn't move for me.
Right. You're not willing to like leave your family life behind. And
I understand. So you
comfortability.
can't just pretend that it will figure itself out, because figuring itself out in your head means eventually I'll give in and move to your small town. And I just, as I sit here now, that's not happening. I don't see a world, if I'm being honest, where I'm going to do that. And I just need to be honest with you about that.
100%.
And then, you know, say that and then go and see where it goes. Okay?
That's great. Thank you.
All right. Well,
I really appreciate it.
keep us posted. We're dying to know.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you all.
Good
I
luck.
definitely will.
All right. Bye-bye. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. We talk about it all the time. Therapy, super important for your mental health, for your relationship health, for your personal health. We strongly recommend that you take care of your mentals, just like you take care of your body, your diet, all of the above. And if you've ever thought about getting into therapy, you got to check out BetterHelp, because what they do is make it super easy to jump in and get into therapy. You can do it right from the comfort of your home, your office, your car. It doesn't matter where you are, your hotel room. BetterHelp has therapists standing by ready to talk to you about whatever problems you want to get off your chest. BetterHelp is working with thousands of new therapists every day to ensure that they can find a therapist that is right for you. That's such a challenge about finding therapy, because not all therapists are made the same. You know, not only talent level, but just ability to connect with you. BetterHelp makes that super easy. It is more affordable than in-person therapy. And again, they just make it super easy to get started. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/VIALL today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/VIALL. Today, Tix makes getting great deals on theater tickets effortless. What began as a revolutionary way to see Broadway shows through discounts, promotions, and digital lotteries now makes theater more accessible in markets across the world. Whether you want front row seats at the best prices or simply a fun night out, Today Tix has the ticket for you.
I used to live in New York, and I would use Today Tix all the time when I wanted to go see a show, when I had friends visiting and they wanted to see a Broadway show for less. Even if we didn't have an idea of what we wanted to see, the app is so easy to use. You can just scroll through, see what they have tickets for that day, and just go. It was so much fun. And I didn't even realize that it wasn't just for Broadway shows when I moved out here. I kept using Today Tix for experiences. They have like walking tours, food tours, museums, adventures. Allie and I went to Knott's Berry Farm together through Today Tix. It was amazing.
Book your ticket months in advance or even day of if you're feeling spontaneous. Today Tix gives you access to exclusive pre-sales, limited time offers, digital lottery programs to sold out shows, and day of discounted tickets. Go to todaytix.com/Nick Viall. That's NICKVIALL, and use promo code NICKVIALL to get $20 off your first Today Tix purchase. That's promo code NICKVIALL at todaytix.com/NICKVIALL. How's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
I'm Chloe and I'm 29.
How can we help, Chloe?
My boyfriend is going through a quarter life crisis, and I think I'm the crisis.
Okay. How old's your boyfriend?
He's 33 years old
Why do you think he's going through a quarter life crisis?
because he's all of a sudden deciding after 5 years that he doesn't know where he wants to live. He doesn't know what job he wants. He doesn't know if he wants to be in a relationship. He doesn't know if he wants children. He doesn't know if he wants to get married. He doesn't know anything.
And when did he reveal this news?
2 weeks ago.
Okay. Are you happy?
In my personal life, yes. Am I happy with this information? No.
No, but were you happy with the relationship prior to receiving this news?
Yes.
It was amazing.
Like La La Land. It
La
was
La Land.
great.
Okay. And how did you respond to this news?
With overflowing tears, and was like, okay, so should I move out or what are we doing?
What did he say?
No, I just don't know what I need right now. That was his exact response, verbatim.
Okay. And then what did you say?
Okay, do you need a hug? I don't know. I didn't really know what to say.
Okay. Have you ever felt that way before?
I mean, he's not very vocal with his emotions or anything. He's a very kind of quiet, emotional guy. So when he said it, I was just shocked, and I was like, okay, is this a personal attack towards me? What is this? And he just said, I don't know.
And that was the last time you talked about it?
Yeah, essentially. He hasn't really said anything since. We went on like a weekend getaway to amp things up and try and get the love back. And it seems like it's worked because he's very happy. But I have no idea if this is all just a front or I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do you have any sense of like what provoked him saying that to you? Like, it's surely potentially something that's been like brewing for a while, but like why then did he drop it on you?
I mean, when you're in a relationship for so long, like 5 years is a very long time. It can get very like roommate-y at one point or another. And I feel like we aren't like super intimate anymore. We do everything else other than just like literally having sex. So I feel like as a man who, they're like innate hunters, like I feel like he wants to, get physical. And I feel like because I haven't given that to him, it's just kind of like fizzled into this. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm making this up.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I doubt you're making up that you guys weren't having a ton of sex.
Yeah, I guess.
Were you satisfied with your sex life?
I was okay with it, but I just have recently gone off birth control and it's like really put my hormones out of whack. So I just don't have the sex drive anymore. But I don't know. We still like make out all the time and like we're still like relatively physical. We just don't like,
How long has your sex life been kind of
like 6 months?
Okay.
Ish. Is
Have
that
you-
a long time? Sounds longer when I say it out loud, but
I mean, I don't know. Depends. Have you guys talked about that? Or you just pretend it's not a big deal?
kind of just pretended it's not a big deal.
No, that's not great.
Other than when he says, man, like sometimes I just want you to suck my dick. And I'm like, whoa,
Well,
exactly. You know?
sometimes, we just, don't you ever just
I get it.
want something from him?
I get it. Yeah, I guess so. You're right.
I mean,
But no, to
I'm
answer your
joking
question, we haven't
around.
really talked about it.
Okay. So yeah, that's you guys' problem. You're not really communicating. You are just, sounds like you guys have really settled into a very comfortable and dull roommate situation.
Yeah.
He's only 33. You're only 29, and
Only?
yeah, well, I know it feels old to you. It's the oldest you've ever been, but trust me when I say you will miss 29. And yeah, 33 is not that old. It's certainly 29 isn't. Like you're in a relationship for 5 years. You guys get real fucking comfortable. It doesn't sound like you guys prioritize your connection. And you do what most people do. It's just like, all right, we're good. Let's prioritize, I don't know, work and other things we want to do and travel and friends. Like we're good. We're good. We don't need to do anything.
Totally.
And then all of a sudden, and you are good. You get along, you like to travel, you don't mind each other, you're pleasant around each other, you like the same shows, everything is fine. But
Yeah.
you're not staying connected. And you can be in a relationship and not be connected. You can wake up one day and feel like you're roommates.
Right.
Because even though you've been together and everything's been nice, you guys haven't prioritized staying connected. You haven't checked in with each other. You haven't asked about how each other's feelings. I mean, yeah, he could go about it a better way to communicate his sexual needs, in a slightly more romantic way. But in a relationship, when things change and you were once getting your needs met here, physical touch, physical intimacy, it's part of a relationship. Excitement is part of a relationship sometimes. If you guys don't prioritize that, you're going to long for it. So what can we do? First, I think you need to sit him down and say, thank you. Thank you for telling me this. I know when you told me it was really hard to hear. I got emotional. I probably got defensive. So I just want to say thanks for letting me know because it probably wasn't easy for you to say. and I love you and I want to be with you and I couldn't be happier with this relationship, you make some points that like, I do think we haven't prioritized us. You know, after you saying that, it's made me kind of evaluate our connection and our relationship. And I do think there's things we can do. But you also, as much as I appreciate you letting me know, I don't know is not an acceptable answer as to like, what should we do about it? And you don't necessarily need an answer right now, but like, are you willing to work with me on trying to figure out an answer? Like, I don't know, start with couples therapy and a great place to start. I don't know.
Right. He gave that a huge
Well, you need to give it a huge, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
You're in this relationship too. You have a say. When you first started talking and you were like, he doesn't want to this, he doesn't want that. I was jokingly going to be like, all right, we'll break up with him. He might need a wake up call. I don't think you do that now. I don't say you're threatening a breakup, but the point is he doesn't get to walk in one day and out of nowhere drop this bomb on you about like, I don't know if I want to get married. I don't want to have kids. I don't even know if I like you. I don't know what I want. And then not be willing to do anything about him. He doesn't get to say he doesn't know shit and then refuse suggestions of help. He doesn't get to do that. And you get to call him out for it. And he can kick and scream and throw a temper tantrum and say, I'm never going to do that. Well, I'm sorry, buddy. You're the one who doesn't know what the fuck they want. And we haven't done a good job of staying connected. You don't know if you love me enough that you want to have a professional third-party person like try to like make our relationship stronger. Are you against making our relationship stronger? Because if you are, then maybe I need to reevaluate this relationship. At some point, though, if he keeps refusing to do anything about his concerns and he just wants to stomp his feet and kick and complain and like pout about how he's confused, then you might have to say, as sad as I am, as much as it breaks my heart, we need to break up.
Right. Yeah, I guess. Okay, yeah, you're right. Age is just a number. 33 is very young. But like, how are you 33 years old and all of a sudden one day you just like woke up and had this epiphany where you were like,
he didn't. He just
I don't know if I
one
want to
day
live here. I don't want to. It's like, how does that, what?
No, he didn't wake up and finally feel this. He finally told you about it. There's a difference, you know? So
that's on him then.
That's on both of you. You guys aren't good communicators.
Right.
At some point, like what should have happened is you could have been like, hey, babe, I'm just getting off of birth control. It is affecting my hormones. I don't feel as sexy. My sex drive has diminished a little bit. I just want to be upfront with you about it. It's kind of awkward for me. I feel a little uncomfortable talking to you about it. But like, we're in a relationship. I just want to communicate with you. I want to have sex with you. But like, if you notice a difference, that's why. And then you guys could talk about still going out of your way to still make an effort to try to still have physical intimacy. Even though you've set the expectation, it might not be quite as spicy and it might not be quite as frequent. And then, you know, you could do all the things that people do, you know, lingerie, I don't know, whatever it is, you know, you're not communicating that. You know, you're not communicating at all. Every once in a while, he throws out like he wishes his dick got sucked. And you're like, ew, you know? That's how you guys communicate about sex right now.
Cheers.
So, you know, that's not good and it's not sustainable. And as happy as you are in this relationship, like this was inevitable.
Right. Do you feel like, am I in my own la la land? Like, because it kind of sounds like, you know, if you're saying maybe he was feeling this way for a while until he finally told me about it, like, am I just in dream world? Like, is this something that is just eventually going to fizzle out?
I mean, you might be complacent. You might be a little comfortable with being comfortable.
Like, at what point do I just like, all right, well, this is on you as well as much as it is on me. So
it's on both of you. Yeah. Maybe you were just preoccupied. I don't know. Like, what do you do for work? Are you busy with work? Where's all your energy going? Because it's not going into staying connected with your partner. It's not going into your sex life. It's not going into you guys talking about your feelings. So where's all your energy going?
I don't know. Like I work in a normal job. I'm a commercial real estate agent. I'm fine. I'm chill. I do yoga every day. Like I'm a pretty chill person.
And when you do yoga, do you do it by yourself? Do you do it with friends? Do you do it with him?
Yeah. Do it by myself, my friends, go to classes.
Okay. So your energy is going into yourself and your friends. What else do you do? Like describe your days. I don't know. Like
that's literally all I do.
Well, like,
okay, but your energy goes somewhere. Maybe it goes into naps. I mean, we all wake up, right? And we all spend energy. Now that energy, that energy might be climbing a fucking mountain. Other people might be like literally sitting on a couch doing fucking nothing, playing video games. But like we all spend energy. Prior to him dropping this bomb on you, where was your energy going? Because it wasn't going into your relationship.
Yeah, I guess I was just like worried. I mean, my energy goes into like a lot of like, oh, like, do I want to live in Vancouver? Like, what's good for me?
Yeah.
Like, I guess I just kept like thinking about myself. I don't like,
yeah,
that sounds selfish, but I just was
That's
like,
okay.
I don't know, where do I want to live? Do I want to continue working here? Like, what are things that make me happy? Should I pick up a new hobby? Like, that's what I spend most of my like non-work time thinking about.
Yeah, not a lot of us in that.
No.
So, I don't know, maybe is this an opportunity for you to evaluate whether you want to be in this relationship? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to get married?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. Do you want to have kids with him?
I mean, yeah, I do. I think he'd be like a great dad.
What do you want out of a relationship? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you just want to have someone who will provide you kids and get out of the way. Some people, I don't know.
Right. Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want.
I don't know. I'm just still like at loss of like, how are you in 5 years telling me 3 months ago, you're like, oh, this is the ring that I thought I would like, that I'm thinking about getting you. And then, oh my God, I think if we had kids, I'd want to name them.
When was that conversation?
That was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Okay. It's a bit abrupt, but feelings change. It's not that crazy. I don't know. Like sometimes we say things because we think we're going to say it. And maybe he was thinking all these things and then maybe he had a gut check with himself and his body said, well, you guys aren't all that connected. I don't know. Like you guys don't talk about your future together all that much, it seems like. And you're not really you're thinking about where should I live? He's talking about rings and you're like, do I want to live in British Columbia? You know?
At what point do we think men just want to break up without saying, let's break up? Because that's also where my mind goes. I'm like, maybe he's just like, I don't know what I want. And like, I'm just hoping that you jump ship so that I don't have to do it. Do you know what I mean?
I do, but I don't know the answer. Why don't you just ask him?
Okay, Nick.
I'm just saying, like, you know, it's not a guy thing. You know, it's
but
like
I feel like men don't express feelings as
you two don't express feelings. This is not a guy thing. This is your relationship.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
your relationship. Okay. And, you know, I'm not saying one's better than the worst, but I'm saying the way you're describing your relationship with your partner is very different than my relationship with mine.
That's amazing. I love that.
You know, but like we talk about us a lot. And we talk about things that we want to do a lot. And we talk about challenges that we have a lot. And when we have had challenges, we've committed to like trying to tackle those challenges. When we have challenges, we've made that challenge a priority above all other things. Because at the end of the day, we've decided we want to be together and we wanted to start a family together. You know, and we've had some really serious fucking challenges. But when those challenges came, we were like, no, fuck that. But we still want to be together. Now, right now, you guys have a challenge, and maybe that challenge is he doesn't really know, but it's someone, and maybe that if you want to be in this relationship, it needs to be you, and use this as an opportunity. And instead of thinking about, is he going to break up with me and try to figure out his feelings, all you have to figure out is clearly we're not connected. Hey, let's just throw it out there. We haven't been physically intimate. My sex drive has been affected. We haven't talked about that. I wasn't upfront with you about that. I would love us to be more connected. What you said made me think about like how I feel about these things. But after thinking about it, I just want to say, I want to be with you and I want to have a family with you. And I think you'd be a great father. And I want to have a closer relationship with you. I want to do more fun things. I want to put energy into making sure that as much as we can, and you know, you can only do so much, that we keep that fire going, that we keep that spark or whatever it is. That we go out of our way to keep it fun and exciting. And I don't know what that is for you guys, you know, other couple, role. I don't fucking know. And maybe it is travel.
Yeah, I get it.
But like you just make it a priority. And when he says like, well, I'm never going to do therapy. All right, fine. Maybe not therapy, but what do you want to do? Because I don't know is not a solution. And then he doesn't get to just, next week be like, you know what? I was just having a bad week. He doesn't get to do that. He said some serious shit.
Right.
And some valid shit. The more I talk to you, it sounds like he had every reason to start feeling the way he did because you guys weren't connected. You were just roommates. He's 33 years old and he's thinking, is this the rest of my fucking life?
Yeah, that's what he said.
He
was thinking about that. Oh, God.
And as he should, because you're just like out there being like, I'm going to go to yoga with the girls, and I'm going to think about if I'm going to live in British Columbia. And by the way, we're not having sex tonight, tomorrow, or the next day.
Sick.
And there's a million ways to stay connected and have nothing to do with physical intimacy, But it's the fact that you guys just never talked about it. You didn't even acknowledge it.
Do you feel like it's like too late to have now?
Never too late to talk about, are you in a relationship with him?
Yeah.
Then it's not too late. You can always start talking. You can always start communicating. You both can acknowledge things that you didn't do in the past that you want to do in the future to make your relationship better.
Yeah.
You can reprioritize each other. People renew their marriage vows all the time. It's a thing.
True.
If it was 1930, you guys would be married already and have kids.
I
But
know.
it's 2023. You decided to skip the wedding. You just moved in. You've been playing house. And you're a fucking married couple without the fucking title,
Right.
The only difference between now and a married couple is like it's just easier to break up, But if
I know.
if you want to make each other a priority, you can always reset things and you can always turn things around. But he's got to be willing to do it too. It can't just be you. He doesn't just get to complain and then do nothing about it.
Right. Like, in your opinion, what are, I guess, some signs that I should look out for if it is something that is just like it's dying and it's done and there's no point in even
I would start
continuing to try and connect?
I would start by opening up these lines of communication by saying, hey, listen, I've been doing a lot of thinking about what you said to me the other week, and I want to use this as an opportunity for us. It freaked me out. Certainly, I got emotional. It was scary to hear. I didn't like hearing it. Certainly made me feel insecure. But at the end of the day, I love you, and I want to be with you, and I want to feel more connected to you. And acknowledge the things that you need to acknowledge. Where have you been self-centered or where have you been selfish? What are things that you want to try to do to bring to the table as a we and an us thing? Talk about the lack of physical intimacy. Be like, hey, listen, I'm not going to apologize for not wanting to have sex, but I should have brought this up to you sooner. I should have talked to you about it. And we should have figured out solutions to work around it. And you guys could have figured out times and find that romance. He has the right to, express to you a desire for more physical intimacy. He needs to do that by not saying things like, I could use a good dick sucking right now, but he's a fucking dude. And some guys are awkward and they say shit, whatever. And, he's allowed to joke, but if he wants to be serious about it, he needs to sit down and be like, babe, I just I miss being intimate with you. And and hold hands more. Do you guys hold hands a lot? Probably.
Well, we used to, but it's just gotten so comfortable that
you should hold hands wherever you go. Hold hands.
Duly noted. Got it.
I'm just saying, do you want to be connected to your partner or you're not? I don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
You're 29 years old and I think you're super young. You don't think you are. Do you think you have time to waste to play house with a guy you don't even want to hold hands with?
No.
So, and here's the thing. You think he's great. So you could break up with him and he could break up with you and you guys could both date new people. But if you guys still continue to be the same people that you both are and treat relationships the same way you both treat them now, that same thing will happen 4 or 5 years from now. And maybe you can point that out to him.
Okay, true. Got it. I guess it's just hard because, all my girlfriends out there are like, well, if he says, I don't know about you once, then you don't need that in your life, dump his ass. And it's so hard not to fall into that.
To a certain degree, I'd agree with that, right? So first, you need to provide solutions to the problem and a desire for the both of you to work on them. Then the ball's in his court. You guys can talk and find some compromises. You can insist on therapy. I'm not saying therapy is the only way to do it, start holding, but it's a commitment from the both of you to say, I'm committed to try to work on the things that we've let slip. But if he's like, I don't know, no therapy, fuck this, I don't know, and he just keeps pouting and keeps saying, I don't know, then yes, break up with him.
Okay.
And you say, listen, I don't want to do this. This breaks my heart, but you are giving me nothing to work with. So then I'm not going to be in a relationship with someone who just wants to complain and do nothing about it.
Totally.
And, he'll probably wake up.
Yeah. After I'm gone.
Probably.
And I'll be moved on. Yeah.
Well, maybe just scare him a little bit first.
Is that a reliable tactic?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Make it real. Scary, make it real.
Yeah. You guys are very comfortable with each other. You guys take each other for granted. You both think the other person's just going to be gone. And when he wakes up one day and you're not there, he will very much reevaluate just like how much of a big deal that is or not. Because right now he doesn't visualize it.
No, I don't think he visualizes anything. Like he couldn't possibly visualize not even living in this apartment that we've lived in for 4 years.
I mean, yeah, he has the right to feel the way he does, but you have the right to have your feelings. You both, if you want to be in this relationship, need to actually take care of the relationship. You guys aren't taking care of the relationship. You're taking care of yourselves while just sitting in a relationship.
Right. Is it like, it must be normal for couples to be together for this long and go through this phase.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. I think most couples don't, 3, 4, or 5 years in a relationship say, we have to prioritize us every day.
Yeah.
Most people are like, oh, we're good.
Let's just keep doing, yeah.
We're fine. We're fine. I'm going to go do my other things. We're good.
Yeah.
Relationship's supposed to be easy.
Right.
I don't want to work. I don't want to have to, relationships take fucking work, man. Especially
Yeah,
long-term
I
ones.
think
There's,
That's what he thinks. He's like, oh, I don't know. Like everything should just be all good. And I'm like, what?
what planet? Well, that's where you might need to scare the shit out of them, Well, you just be like, it's not. I don't know what to tell you. Don't even negotiate with them. Just treat it as dumb as it sounds. Who and where? Show me the couple that's been together and all over each other, that's been together for 10 years, has an amazing relationship, they have great sex, they're super affectionate, they speak super highly of each other, and show me that couple that doesn't work super fucking hard at that.
True.
And that
I
doesn't
agree
exist.
with you.
It doesn't exist. So the plan is to sit them down, just be honest with them, acknowledge the shortcomings that you've both played in this relationship being what it is now, just kind of this stale roommate-y situation, and then state your desire to try to fix it and ask for his support in that, and ask him to be a part of that, and ask him to join you into recommitting to this relationship. And if he gives you the I don't know, and I don't know if I can do that, and he comes from a me point, and I don't know what I want, and I don't know if I can do this, and I'm not sure this is right for me, then you say, then I think we should break up. Because I'm not going to be in a relationship where someone's not willing to every day wake up and choose me and choose us and fight for this relationship, because I am. I don't think we've done a good job of that. I think we've failed each other in this relationship so far. And the good news is I'm still really happy with you and I still love you. So we have a great thing going here. We're lucky.
It's true.
Yeah. So balls in your court, bud. So man up or get out.
Okay, true. Facts.
All right.
Got it.
All right. Well, we'd love an update.
Okay.
So we will definitely be checking in with you.
Perfect.
So we're going to try to hold you accountable. And if he would love to join you on that next one for a nice little mediation, I would love to yell at him too.
Oh, perfect. I would love that.
It's like, if we're not going to do therapy, at least go on this fucking podcast. It's anonymous, and
at least listen to Nick Viall.
Tell me have some fun. Tell him to loosen up. If he wants to do something crazy before he ruins this great relationships and starts deciding he just wants to fuck somebody else, or whatever.
Right.
Maybe he's just going on a podcast or something.
Totally agree. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
He listens to yours too.
All right.
He's like, oh, did you see that? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, great.
Well, open invite.
Okay, well.
All right.
Love it.
All right. Well, good luck. Keep us posted.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
ZocDoc, hey, you need a doctor, you need it now, and you need to have them cover your insurance. Well, look no further than ZocDoc. ZocDoc is here to save the day because they will help you find a doctor that is patient-reviewed, available within 48 hours, and takes your insurance. That's what ZocDoc is all about. They make it super easy and convenient to find the healthcare that you need when you need it at an affordable price with a doctor you can trust, and it takes your insurance.
Respectfully, when was the last time you went for the dentist? When was the last time you went for a cleaning?
Yeah.
The first thing I did when I needed a dentist appointment was go on ZocDoc. I found this amazing doctor, shout out Dr. Russell Jacinto, who had awesome patient reviews, and I've had such a positive experience with her.
ZocDoc is a free app where you can find amazing doctors and book appointments online. We're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated patient-reviewed doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for the ones that take your insurance, are located near you, and treat almost any condition under the sun. Go to ZocDoc.com/VIALL and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That is ZocDoc.com/VIALL. ZocDoc.com/VIALL. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
My name's Paul, and I am 27 years old, and I'm trying to figure out how to save my relationship after cheating.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for calling in. Probably not easy to do. Tell us a little bit about this relationship. Are you married? Are you dating, engaged? How long you been dating? Give us a quick, the short history of like the relationship.
We started dating a little over a year and a half ago. The first year we were, living separately, and like right at the year mark, we moved across the country and moved in together. And I was caught cheating like a month before we moved in together.
Okay. And how long ago was this?
That was 8 months ago.
Okay. And then she caught you.
She caught me in January.
How did she catch you? Like caught you or like?
She saw a notification on my phone.
Okay. And what was the context of that relationship? Was it physical intimacy, emotional intimacy, both? Was it going on for a long time?
I had a porn Twitter account, like a backup account that I had from forever ago. And like, I only ever used it in like a porn context. And, I got a message from a porn star, content creator, or whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
And I just messaged him back. And then she saw one of those messages. So like, it wasn't like an emotional thing, and I admit like I made a stupid decision, and I just like acted on like my like impulses and, got caught up in it.
Gotcha. So you didn't have sex with anyone?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Resolved.
better. Well, I don't know. So to my knowledge, or for what you're saying is you had this other account, you were watching some porn, this creator reached out, probably trying to solicit, you subscribing to their OnlyFans or whatever the fuck. You got caught up in it. You responded back. How many messages were sent back and forth?
It was only over the course of 2 days, so
Okay.
not very many.
Was there some like sexting? Was she like, hey, baby, whatever, you make me so hard, and you were like, you're so hot? Or was it just like...
Yeah, it was like mild sexting,
Okay.
like at most. And like, it wasn't like a, even a full conversation. It was just like a couple messages throughout like a 2-day span.
Okay. And then she caught you. And then like in the moments that followed, like, how did you guys, I mean, it seems like at least in the short run, you resolved it because you still moved in with each other. So what was the conversation that followed, like the days that followed? How did you guys talk through it?
It was, I definitely dropped the ball. I was embarrassed, and like I knew what I did was wrong, and definitely didn't do the right thing. And I kind of just wanted to make it go away and didn't want to talk about it. And I was pretty selfish about that. And I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it won't happen again. Like, that's kind of like what I wanted out of it.
So it was kind of, yeah. I mean, we've all been there, right? This like, whatever, it's not a big, you probably try to downplay it. Like, that's nothing. It's not a big deal. It's not really,
Can we just move on?
Just move on. I'm sorry. I fucked up, stuff like that, basically.
Yeah. We had like a week to, 2 weeks of like space apart.
Okay.
And then, she came back and we kind of like talked about it a little bit, but it was like, hey, I just really don't want to talk about this. Like, I'm super embarrassed. Like, I feel terrible. Like, don't ever want to talk about it again. Like, let's just put it behind us, was kind of my outlook on it.
Okay. Well, and then how did she handle that?
Things kind of just went back to normal. Like, you could definitely tell it was like awkward, and like our sex life was like definitely weird from that. And like, there wasn't any like dramatic, like, oh no, this is like gonna break up. Like, we dated for 8 more months after.
Okay. So you tried to forget it ever happened, and she, essentially complied, for at least temporarily, but the unsaid thing wasn't being said, and you guys felt that energy. It affected your sex life a little bit. I'm guessing she never really let it go, and it allowed her to ruminate over the course of 8 months. And it sounds like that's kind of where we're at now. And is she like threatening to leave? Like, is this coming back up now? Like, or why do you feel like your relationship is in need of being saving?
So we moved in together, moved across the country.
Okay.
And she had a job lined up. So, she was the bread earner, while I struggled for 4 months to find anything that was, not McDonald's or Walmart. And like, I really couldn't find a career. And then so we fought nonstop about just looking for a job and finding stuff. And then I finally found something, and it seemed great on the surface. Like they offered, a company house that we could live in for free. And now we just moved into this place. We were only there for like 4 months. And I'm like, hey, we got to move out of the apartment and move into this like giant house for free. And now we've moved twice in 6 months. And then after there for 2 months, it was the worst job I've ever had. And then randomly, the management of the company decided to let me, my assistant managers, and like all of my supervisors, they just fired us all without any warning. And we had to like move out of the house. And then she said, "Hey, I want to get my own place. And I think we need some time apart."
And how recent was that?
That was about a month ago. And then I had no other options. So I packed up and drove across the country, and I'm living with mom and dad right now.
And when was the last time you talked to her?
So like that first couple of weeks, like I definitely wanted to give her space and stuff. And so like we didn't talk too much. And then like things started getting better. And like we actually had a couple like normal FaceTime conversations, and like I felt some progress. And then last week, she pretty much said like, "I like don't want to talk to you."
And you haven't talked to her in a week.
She called me yesterday because I put her down as an emergency contact there for an apartment, and the landlord called her. So she was like upset that I'm like coming back already.
So okay. She called you to yell at you. Well, I don't know. Do you feel like it can be saved?
I truly do. And like, this is somebody like, I actually like want to marry this girl. Like I messed up, and like, I know that was like a big mistake, and like, I take full responsibility for that. And unfortunately, like, I just didn't communicate properly, and
Yeah.
it just like ate away at us over the next 6 months. And then while we lived together, it was just like, we became roommates, and like we lost that.
Yeah, that connection.
Yeah, that
That's the
connection. Like,
thing,
we
you
weren't
know.
going on our
Yeah.
weekly dates.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything. Like we had no sex life. It was just-
You stayed together, but you lost the connection. And a relationship is only as strong as the connection, and how you guys are staying connected, and we're not staying connected. So yeah, that's kind of how you become roommates, you know.
And unfortunately, I think that job actually was more detrimental to the relationship than like the actual cheating.
I
Me working nights, and we never saw each other.
I'm just basing off what you're telling me. It sounded like it was like a cherry on top, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, because in my head, what I'm hearing is, all right, you did this thing, you fucked up. I don't want to say it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. You fucked up. You shouldn't do that. But your biggest crime is how you handled it, and kind of bulldozed through like a chance to heal, and like and allow you both to work through whatever she was feeling, and talk through it, and allow her to say her piece. And you know, sometimes people like this will happen, and partners will overreact and be like, "You have a sex addiction, and you got to go get fucking therapy because you looked at fucking porn." And it's just like, a lot of guys look at porn, but it was just you just didn't let her talk about it, right? And so then you guys get disconnected. It affected your sex life. You're entering that, oh, we're roommates now. Then any other frustration that she's going to feel is just going to compound, right? So then you were struggling with work. She's working, you're not. There's a frustrating piece there in any relationship. And regardless of you trying or not, it's just like she had already reasons to be mad at you. So yeah, and then you fucking move into a house, you lose your job, she had to relocate, and she probably saw that as a sign of a fresh start. So why do you think it could be saved? I mean, despite you having regrets and you loving her, why do you think it can be saved?
I know that she genuinely loves me, and like I am like in love with her. Like I would do anything for her. I love her family. Her family, like, you know, loves me. My family loves her. Like I see an actual fit here.
Have you ever said to her what you're saying to us? Have you ever apologized to her sincerely? Not like in a reaction, like right after she looks, I don't want to talk to you, but like a genuine, sincere that makes it sound like you've really thought about it, and apologize for not allowing her the opportunity to even really be mad at you for what you did, and not give the relationship a chance to work through your fuck up.
I've only done that like in the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
You know, like since I
How did you say it?
started therapy, and pretty much just that. I was like, I fucked up, and like I truly am like sorry for what I did, and like I regret it every day. And like, worst of all, like just not allowing, you know, us to talk about it. You recommended getting therapy, and I said like, that's stupid. I don't want to talk to some like snooty doctor who thinks they're better than me. Like I don't want to do that. And I was like, let's just not talk about it again. Like the more we talk about it, the worse it's gonna get. And I made that worse. Like we should have talked about it, and like I should have taken responsibility for my actions.
And you said you were in therapy now.
Yes.
When did you start?
6 weeks ago.
So before she ended things with you?
Like the next day after she ended things.
Okay. If 3 or 4 months go by and she still doesn't take you back, and your opinion of your chances to get her back change, do you think you'll stay in therapy?
I don't think it's something I need forever.
I mean, I just like, personally, me right now, I go to therapy for like maintenance. There have been other times in my life where I was like, hey, Darlene, we're coming in every week. And I actually haven't seen her every week now. There have been other times where it's just like, honestly, I'm busy. I'm good. Like, let's just do every other week. And then sometimes I'll be like, hey, I'm busy this week. But like, it's just like an ongoing maintenance thing. But the reason I asked that question is like right now you're doing very much the classic, you're stepping up when it's too late. And there's a million women out there and even men, but I feel like this is something men are more guilty of. And I feel like women experience this more in relationships where they will beg and they'll plead and they'll try and they'll get shot down and they'll be told therapy's stupid or whatever, all their ideas of trying to be more connected are shot down. Then they finally say, fuck off. They finally get the courage to stand up for themselves because I'm assuming it wasn't easy for her to kick you out or to say goodbye. And she, even though it was her decision, I imagine she's both angry and sad right now. And right now, you getting into therapy only pisses her off. Because it wasn't until it was...
Yeah, it's like, if you had this in you, why the fuck couldn't it have come out before kind of thing?
So right now, it just seems like I'm only doing it to get you back. If she were calling in and I was hearing her side of the story, I'd been like, hey, right now, he's doing it for you. He's not doing it for himself, having not talked. And so you in therapy, like, I don't think you need therapy because like you responded to a porn star, I don't know you and I don't know what you're talking to your therapist about. It's just good. Like to me, the only thing that maybe like I think therapy, I hope helps you with is this making you more comfortable with dealing with shit, dealing with your emotions so that when you do feel embarrassed and when you do fuck up and when you do feel awkward, you don't just like shut down and shut the conversation down and shut your partner down, because yeah, this won't be the last time you fuck up in a relationship. You may not reply to a porn star anymore, but this won't be the last time you hurt or piss off your partner where you have to say, I'm sorry, my bad, I'm embarrassed, I have no excuse for what I did, please forgive me. But do you want to talk about it? We can work through it. How does it make you feel? This won't be the last time, whether it's with her or someone else. And so I'm hoping that that's what you're getting out of therapy, because it's not like you need a therapist to you're probably still watching porn and, whatever. So I guess what I'm saying is I think you really have to do this for yourself. It sounds like you've said everything you can say at this point. Maybe the last thing you could say is, I'm just going to keep working on me. I'm sorry it took me so long. I shouldn't have waited. This is the biggest regret of my life. And I know I may never get you back. She needs to hear, and I don't know if you've said this to her, because if you're saying things like, I know you love me and I know we can make this work and blah, 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 again, that's just going to piss her off. So you do have to do this for yourself. This has to be for you. This has to be independent of whether she takes you back. And if it truly becomes that, then maybe you will then indirectly give her the courage, the confidence to trust that this is legitimate, that this isn't just to get her back. I think articulating that and making her realize that you understand that. Because, I don't know what's going to happen with her. And I truly think that if you are committed to, just investing in yourself right now, get your shit together, man. How old are you again?
27.
Yeah, you're super young, you're fucking great head of hair, you're a good looking guy. Got a great beard,
My temporary game plan is just to find that good career, not just like a job, a career. And I want to move back on there. I know I'm not gonna be able to fix things tomorrow. We're gonna go back to normal. So I really just want to go to the gym every day, stay with therapy, knock out all of the things I've been putting off for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And then just get myself right. And then
well, that's the thing too. That's exactly, and you're young and life can change. And I didn't get into what I'm doing now until I was in my mid 30s. So I don't know what life has in store for you. Don't get down, because you can get really down on yourself when you're struggling to find work and shit like that. And even sometimes when you find work, you're like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my fucking life. You want to find something that you enjoy. It's like, it's a fucking struggle. So in the meantime, it sounds like you have a good plan. Work on yourself, invest in yourself, really challenge yourself to be a better person. And she's asked you not to reach out to her, so you're going to have to respect that. Maybe find ways, maybe like a letter, really sitting down and write that letter maybe a couple times. It's got to be sincere, it can't be reactionary. And sometimes it's really hard to know the difference when you're in the state that you're in. Because when you fucked up and you miss someone and you're heartbroken and you're sad, it all feels the same. There's no difference between doing something for her or doing something for yourself. She needs to believe that this is legitimate, that this new person that you claim to be trying to be has nothing to do with her. Because eventually, if she does take you back, she won't be enough. Because she wasn't enough when you were in the relationship. And she shouldn't be enough. We need to be enough to want to be our best selves, right? And so we need to do the work so that when we do fuck up, that we can take ownership or whatever. And yeah, our partners are there to hear us vent and give us support and give us that old attaboy and things like that, but they're not there to fix us or force us to do the work or check in and be like, did you go to therapy today? That's not our partner's job, And right now, she thinks that the only way you're going to do all the things that you're doing is if either A, she reminds you or tells you, or by not taking you back type of thing. So I don't know if this is the answer you wanted. This is because I don't think there's any like, hey, go say this and she'll take you back.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that. I don't think there's anything I could, do that's just going to fix it.
I think you need to have the mindset, and I truly believe it to be true, is that I don't know what she's going to do. And I don't know if she's going to take you back. But if you are committed to righting the wrongs that you made in your past relationship and really just being like, listen, I don't want to do that anymore. And yeah, more importantly, I don't want to handle me fucking up the same way. I don't want to make my partner feel even worse when I fuck up by not allowing them the opportunity to grieve and communicate and talk. It's like a double whammy. And so whether it's her or the next person in my life, I'm going to do the work right now to be that partner. In the meantime, I'm also going to reevaluate my career choices. And I'm going to set myself for success. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm only 27, but I'm going to fucking work my ass off. And I'm going to figure it out. And fuck, man, I'm 33, 6 years from now, it's a lifetime, and your life could be totally different in the best possible way. And regardless if she takes you back, if you're committed to this, this will be a great thing for you. And because she is not your girlfriend right now, she is not your priority right now. And I don't mean to say that in a crude way. You are your priority. It's your time to focus on you and what you need to do for yourself. And if she is willing to accept you back in her life, then amazing. It's not your job to take care of her anymore because she doesn't want to be in a relationship with you. And that's her choice. And you have to respect that choice. And hopefully, this is the way you feel now, that she'll change her mind. But regardless, you're going to do this for yourself. And that's going to make it more genuine and more real. And if she decides not to take you back, then you will still be a better person for it. You will be super attractive to a lot of other partners. And then when you have that tough conversation with someone, if you start dating again and you go back out there and you realize, she's not going to take me back, well, I got to move up the pieces. Because listen, I don't know. As much as you love her now and as great as she is, maybe there's a compatibility issue there, she lives in this small town. We literally just got off a call talking about a similar thing. You're having a hard time finding work. Maybe you feel less fulfilled or less secure about yourself because you just can't find it. And that's affecting your relationship, but she's not willing to move. And as great as she is and as wonderful as your relationship was, maybe she's not the best one for you. I don't know. There are more than one person in my life that I thought they were it. And I thought I was going to marry them. And then when we broke up, I thought I had to fucking change the world to get them back. And I was determined to do it, only to realize they're not my person. I don't know what it's going to be for you. I just want to emphasize this is about you right now. And the more you invest in yourself, the more you deal with your shit, the better you are for it. And like I was about to say, if you do start dating and you sit down and then that inevitable conversation, did you ever cheat, comes up, you can say, well, yes, I'm going to tell you, it was embarrassing then. It's embarrassing now, but in full transparency, I'm just going to tell you what happened. And it really affected my relationship. And even worse than that, this is how I handle it. It was fucked up. I learned a lot about myself. It ultimately was why that relationship ended. And let me tell you the work I've been doing on myself. And, as shitty as it was and as heartbreaking as it was for me, I'm better for it.
It was a turning point.
It was a turning point in my life, and that next person will be disappointed that you cheated, but also be like, you know what? I'm just glad you did the work because I've dated a lot of fucking guys who just never were willing to do that. you're down bad right now, but I've been there before. You know, I didn't do what you did, but like, hell, I've been in relationships where I just decided to blame myself. So I felt exactly how you feel now, where it was like, I fucked up. And, you know, like in every relationship, you fuck up, you know, like I wasn't doing things she wanted me to do or this or that. And some of it were reasonable and some of it I didn't think were reasonable. But either way, I was the one who was like, I need to fix this. I need to do the work and shit like that. So you're going to be okay, I guess is my point. And this definitely can be an opportunity for you to make some real positive changes because you weren't happy, you know, and it's not necessarily her fault, but you're coming off a period of your life where that wasn't the happiest you've ever been. And it wasn't like you weren't waking up every morning being like, I'm right where I want to be in my life. And so maybe this was like the world's way of shaking shit up for you, you know, because you were kind of going nowhere fast for a period of time and you weren't doing anything about it.
Yeah, I kind of just got complacent in that, you know?
Yeah, I've been there. I mean, you need to respect the space that she's requesting. If you were to send a letter at some point, you need to make her feel like you've accepted that she's gone and it's a goodbye letter. And you can still hold on to hope. It's I'm sorry I did this. Thank you for challenging me. Thank you for pushing me. Thank you for trying to, you know, keep our connection going through therapy. Again, I'm sorry I shot all those down, but through all this, you know, this has been a turning point in my life because while I know that you will never take me back, losing you has been the hardest thing I've ever had to endure. And losing you has finally made me realize that I need to get my shit together and I need to do this. And then you need to empathize while in that letter that you saying that is going to piss her off. And you can, and then apologize for being like, I can only imagine how frustrating that might be for you to even hear that because I should have done that when you asked. But I just want to say thank you for everything. Thank you for being the best relationship I ever had. Again, I'm sorry.
Go into the specifics about like the things that you make her feel known and like seen and appreciated, even though it was like, it is too late. Like really go into the like, here's exactly what I love you and here's exactly what I'm losing.
But the tone is more goodbye. The tone is not begging. The tone is not making promises. Do not make one promise. There is no promise in this letter. There's no, I promise you this if you do that. No negotiating in the letter. It is just an acknowledgement for what you didn't do, apologies for what you've realized that you wish you would have done, appreciation. It's like, I'm sorry and thank you.
You were right.
You were right. I'm going to be a better person for this. I wish I didn't have to lose you for this to happen, but such is life. And then the ball's in her court. And then you just stay committed to this. And if she really loves you, and if you're right about that, some time will go by and she'll pick up the phone and she'll check in. And if not, then this wasn't meant to be, man.
Yeah, that seems like a good plan. Like I've drafted some letters, but they've all been crap. So I haven't mailed anything yet. I'm like, I don't know how to write.
You don't need to know how to write. What the important thing is no negotiating and no promises. When you write that letter and you read it again and write as many as you need to, you just ask yourself, do I sound apologetic? Do I sound like I'm empathizing with the position I put her in? Do I sound appreciative for the time I had with her? And then give specifics, like Amanda said, of what you're appreciative about and why you're sorry and be sincere, but also kind of say goodbye. It's a bit theatrical, but it'll do the job.
Yeah, so I already know the answer, but that you're going to give me, but do you think it'd be stupid to move back there? I know deep down I'm like, that's putting a lot of like
pressure on her.
No.
Or you?
I feel like me going back there puts pressure on her.
I don't think there's a clear yes or no answer. Do you think you can stay committed to this process you want to embark on and work on this personal development, regardless of what she decides? If you move back there, you need to assume you'll never give her back because you might not. So I would base your decision on assuming that you probably won't get her back because, you know, otherwise you move out there, you set your expectations that, oh, it's just a matter of time, I'll get her back. I'll just kind of hover around and things like that. And then again, that's going to warp your personal development. It becomes more about getting her back. But if you liked living there, sure. But if she doesn't take you back, can you date there or can you get a job there? Things like that, you know? You'll have to decide for yourself. I don't think there's a clear yes or no. I think you just have to really be honest with yourself when you make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll find your way. In the meantime, I just keep working on yourself, man, and hold yourself accountable. Be committed to being the better person. And it's not for her is the biggest takeaway. You're not doing this for her. She's not your responsibility. She's not even your priority right now. You are your priority, and that's what you have to focus on. And the more you do, that will only increase your chances of getting her back.
Sounds kind of pretty reasonable.
All right, man. Well, I really appreciate you calling, man. It's always nice to hear from the men and their relationship struggles. And not that I'm glad you're going through it, but I think this is a very helpful conversation. And I think there's a lot of people listening but will relate to you on one way or the other. We appreciate it. And we certainly would love for you to keep us updated on how things go. And if you eventually send a letter, what that letter looked like. And we'd love to check in on you and get some updates on how your journey goes, man.
Awesome. Thanks. I appreciate the advice.
I appreciate you, man. All right. Good luck. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right, buddy. Take care.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to send in those questions at AskNick@theViallFiles.com. We'll see you tomorrow for a reality recap breaking down Love is Blind, Bachelor in Paradise, Golden Bachelor, and Heather Dubrow on Thursday for Going Deeper. We'll see you then. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.